Norwegian Aqua is the first of Norwegian Cruise Line's Prima Plus class of ships, but after sailing on Norwegian Prima, the original Prima class ship, has Norwegian actually improved the formula. Today we're comparing Norwegian Prima and Norwegian Aqua to see what's changed and whether Aqua is actually the better ship overall. When Norwegian Prima launched back in 2022, it introduced a completely new direction for Norwegian Cruise Line. The ship looked more modern, more upscale, and different from the Breakaway and Breakaway Plus class ships that came before it. But while many people loved Prima, others felt that there were areas that needed to be improved. And honestly, Norwegian Aqua feels like Norwegian looked at Prima and asked, what can we refine? At first glance, Prima and Aqua actually feel very similar. The overall Prima class identity is still very much there. You've still got Ocean Boulevard, modern styling, lots of outdoor space, and a much more upscale atmosphere compared to older Norwegian ships. And honestly, I think that's a good thing because Prima already introduced a very strong foundation, but Aqua is around 10% larger overall. Now that doesn't suddenly make the ship feel completely different, but it does give Norwegian more room to improve certain areas that guests criticised on Prima. And one of the biggest areas where that becomes obvious is the pool deck. One of the most common criticisms of Norwegian Prima was the size of the main pool area. Especially on busy sea days, the upper decks could feel surprisingly crowded. And honestly, Norwegian clearly listened. Aqua features a noticeably larger pool area, helping the upper decks feel more open and less congested overall. But despite the changes, the overall outdoor philosophy still feels very familiar between the two ships. Ocean Boulevard remains one of the standout features across both Prima and Aqua. Being able to walk around the ship so close to the ocean genuinely makes the experience feel much more connected to the sea. So while Aqua improves the functionality of the outdoor spaces, the overall Prima class atmosphere remains very similar. Another of the biggest visible differences between the ships is the main attraction on board. Norwegian Prima features the racetrack attraction, while Aqua replaces that concept with the Aqua slide coaster. And honestly, this feels like a pretty major shift in direction from Norwegian. The racetrack was a tried and tested attraction which premiered on Breakaway Plus class ships, but it also used a huge amount of deck space. Meanwhile, the Aqua slide coaster feels more modern, more compact, allowing more space for the pool deck, and probably appeals to a wider range of guests overall. It's also included in your cruise fare, whereas the racetrack comes at an extra fee. Aqua also introduces Glow Court, a digital sports complex and entertainment space which adds another modern activity area to the ship. This again feels like Norwegian evolving the Prima class concept rather than simply copying Prima exactly. Compared to the racetrack focused approach on Prima, Aqua feels slightly more balanced overall when it comes to how entertainment spaces are used across the ship. And entertainment is another area where Aqua appears to step things up noticeably. On Prima, Red, White and British is an entertaining production featuring British pop classics from artists like the Beatles, Adele and Ed Sheeran. But Aqua's headline production, Revolution, a celebration of Prince, honestly feels like it's on another level entirely. The scale, the staging and the overall production value all feel much more ambitious overall. And honestly, this again supports the idea that Aqua isn't reinvented Prima class, it's refining and elevating it. Dining is another area where Prima and Aqua actually feel very similar overall. The main dining rooms, buffet spaces, and casual dining experience all still feel very familiar between the two ships. Indulge Food Hall also remains one of the standout features across both Prima and Aqua. The flexibility there works brilliantly. Being able to order from multiple venues in one space feels modern, casual, and incredibly convenient, and it fits Norwegian's freestyle cruising approach perfectly. So if you've sailed on Prima before, Aqua's overall dining atmosphere will still feel very recognisable. But Aqua does introduce several additions too. Plantery comes to Indulge Food Hall. This new plant-based venue expands the range of dining options even further and reflects how cruise dining is continuing to evolve beyond traditional buffet and steakhouse concepts. Then there's Sukhothai, a brand new Thai specialty restaurant added to Aqua. Honestly, this feels like a really smart addition because it gives Aqua a dining concept that feels different from the existing Prima lineup. Aqua also introduces Swirl Wine Bar, giving the ship another upscale social venue that fits nicely with Prima Class's more premium atmosphere overall. So while Prima and Aqua still feel extremely similar when it comes to overall dining philosophy, Aqua definitely feels like a broader and slightly more refined version overall. Cabin design between Prima and Aqua remains very similar. You still get the modern Prima class styling, cleaner lines and more contemporary cabin feel compared to older Norwegian ships. But Norwegian did make one surprisingly important practical improvement. Bathrooms on board Aqua are around 11% larger. Now that may not sound dramatic on paper, but on a cruise ship, small space improvements genuinely make a noticeable difference. And honestly, this feels like another example of Norwegian responding directly to feedback from Prima. So overall, which ship would I choose? Honestly, I think Norwegian Aqua looks the more refined ship overall. The larger pool areas, improved space usage, additional dining venues, and practical changes like the larger bathrooms all suggest Norwegian has listened carefully to feedback from Prima. Prima still deserves a huge amount of credit for introducing what is arguably Norwegian Cruise Line's most modern and upscale ship class yet. And honestly, both ships still look incredibly impressive overall. So now it's over to you. Would you choose Prima or Aqua? Do Norwegian Aqua's improvements make it the better ship overall, or do you prefer Prima? If you're planning to sail on either Norwegian Prima or Norwegian Aqua, then I've left some handy links in the description for companies that I use. If you enjoy comparison videos just like this one, cruise reviews, ship tours, dining guides and more, then be sure to subscribe, and until the next time, stay addicted to ships and trips.